Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litsa and today I'm going to bring you my experience with chain spun yarns. Now up until recently I really didn't have very much experience with it at all. I did crochet a project in the Hobie Crochet Cal for 2023 with it, and it was like a little clutch, and I thought, okay, this is a little bit different, but it was actually quite enjoyable. But there are some tips and tricks that you might need to know about it. Well, actually only one really tip, and I will share that with you. But I thought I'd make this video because, as I said, I myself didn't really have any experience with the yarn. I hadn't really seen many people crochet with it. And every time I'd go into Spotlight, which is our local, like a craft store here in Sydney, Australia, that some of you may be familiar with. Well, I always talk about it because that's where I usually get my yarn from, especially all my hauls. I would see in mill ends the chain spun yarn. So I would always be attracted to it because, as you can see, and I will show you some up close, it does come in some gorgeous colors, right? And there are even other colors that I didn't pick up, but I picked up 6 bags. There's 4 here and another 2 on my table that I've opened up, and I will show you up close. And as I said, sorry, going away from just the mill ends, every time I would see the yarn, even though I thought, oh wow, you know, the colors are amazing, I would love to work with it, I was always very, very worried. Now let me show you up close what it looks like. So as we said, it is chain spun, and I'll show you this little piece here. There is a tiny bit of a halo on it, but the most important thing you need to know about this yarn is that it is a tube of yarn. Can you see the end there? So all the little you know, the plies of the yarn. This one I believe is acrylic, because as I said, it's a mill end, but I'm guessing it's acrylic because you can get it obviously in a variety of fibers, but all of them have this at the end. See how it frays when you cut it? So the most important thing and the only real tip about this yarn is that you need to tie the end in a knot. Doesn't have to be a big knot, but as simple as that, and that will stop it from fraying. So that's what I've done for my project, for both projects that I've created to date, and I, you know, hope to create more in the future, crochet more. So if you remember that, guys, at the beginning of your crocheting, and then again when you weave in your ends, to do that again at the very end. Otherwise, your project might unravel, and who would want that to happen? Now, I don't know if it actually would, but that was the tip that was given to me, so I'm sharing it with you. Now, what are some of the great qualities about this yarn that I've found to date? Well, it gives you great stitch definition, and I'll show you that in a moment when I share what I crocheted with it. It's got a nice stretch to it. So for example, if you want to crochet something like a beanie or a hat, I think they would be awesome applied to that. And I'm sure we would find, you know, various other projects, especially if it's clothing, if you just need it to have a little bit of a stretch. It's not an enormous stretch, but because, as you can imagine, because it is chain spun, so there are chains, it's not just one, you know, fiber, it actually does have that flexibility. It's not elasticy, but it does have that slight stretch, and I'll show you in a moment when you put it together. As I said, great stitch definition, a little bit stretchy, which is awesome. It does come in a tube, so be mindful of that. Tie in your ends. We don't want it to unravel because it's made up of a few different, like, plies or, you know, strands to create the yarn. The good thing is about it, I found there was no splitting. Now I'm guessing if you have a very sharp hook and you go into it, you will tear into the fiber, into the yarn, but it didn't split for me when I was just using my normal hook with it, which was awesome. And I found that my hook glided quite easily through it, both metal and plastic, because I did trial both to see for this yarn here, although it doesn't look very, very thick, I ended up using a 7mm hook. You could go down a hook size if you wanted a denser project, as for example, I thought to apply it for a basket. So when I'm back at Spotlight, I will make sure that, you know, hopefully there'll be some more left, some more mill ends left. I will buy some more because I would love to make some baskets with it. But for now, what did I make? Well, of course, you know, it's going to be a beanie, isn't it? That'll be my first experiment. And look at that, guys. Isn't that awesome? Stitch definition. Now I just did my top down beanies as always, nothing different to that. Very quick and easy project to crochet up. It doesn't take very long at all. I use the double crochets, US terminology, and the cross double crochets just to make a little pattern, and that on the end I just put 2 rows of single crochets. Now you can use this yarn for any pattern of beanie, and I will endeavor to make a few different ones, but I think that it works up. Look at that, guys, look at the stitch definition. And this is with a 7mm hook. How gorgeous is that? Now let me show you what I meant by a little bit stretchy. Now I know all yarn is a little bit stretchy, but I thought that, look at this one, there's nice bounce to it, isn't there? Look at that. Absolutely love it. And it is a nice yarn. It's not soft, it's not rough or anything like that, but it's almost like, to me, it feels like there might be like a cotton in there, but I don't believe there is in this one. There might be in other selections of yarn that you could purchase, but this one, because it is a mill end, as I said, I don't know what the fibre content is, so that's what I'm guessing, but I think I might be right. Now, in each bag, you get 400 grams in the mill ends, and this little beanie, and I weighed it, is about 84 grams. So you get quite easily, like this is what was left over from nearly 100 grams. So you get at least 4 beanies out of this bag. And you know what, at a pinch, you might even be able to get 5, but I don't want to say that. But definitely, if you have a 100-gram ball or skein of chain spun yarn, this thickness, which I'm guessing must be like a worsted, maybe a 10 ply. I'm guessing, I'm not saying 100%, but anything between an 8 and a 10 ply yarn, I think you would quite comfortably be able to get 1 beanie. Now, I had the luxury of only paying $8.40, I believe, for this mill end haul, small haul, and so this equates to $2.10 a beanie, and maybe even less if I get 5 out of it. So far I've gotten 1 out of the first bag that I started, and I've also started 1 in the black and white, and I love the way that it transitions the color in this particular chain spun yarn. I'm not saying they're all the same, but the bags that I got. So I just thought that I'd come on and share my very limited experience with chain spun yarn, and hopefully I'll be able to, you know, apply it to other things. I did make a little friend at Spotlight, Rochelle, so if you're watching, hello, how are you? And her lovely partner Paul, I believe it was her birthday. I think it's her birthday today, so happy birthday if you're watching. You know, we were both looked at each other and we were wondering what we could apply, what projects to the chain spun yarn, and she did say that she actually was thinking that maybe she could make a scarf. So imagine you could make, I imagine this would be great also because of the stretchiness for mittens or gloves, and certainly a scarf. So imagine a nice little set. Maybe that's what I should do, make some mittens and a scarf and see what it all looks like together. But look, for now, making these beanies has been an absolute joy. If you come across some chain spun yarn and you're wondering what to use it for, now you have a few ideas. Now, I did go online because I was very curious to see what the actual price is of chain spun yarn, because it's not, you know, like I said, something I come across very often, certainly not on the shelves at Spotlight. I did see some that were very different blends of yarn to the acrylic, and it doesn't seem to be very, very expensive, but I think you need to buy it online. I think there's a website, Webs, which I saw it on, and it did have a few different varieties on there. So if you want more information, by all means, you know, Google it for yourself, and please share with me if you've you know, crocheted anything using chain spun yarn. To date, you know, I haven't really had much experience, but I wanted to share what I've learnt with you because, as I said, it was hard for me to find, you know, patterns. I almost said recipes, patterns to use with it. But now that I've purchased it, let me tell you, I won't be letting these go by if I see them again at Spotlight in mill ends, because I think that they do make beautiful projects. So chain spun yarn for me, tick. I think that it will be part of my stash from now on, and I'm so glad that I took that little tiny leap of faith to you know, just purchase some and just trial it out, because I thought, what's the worst thing that can happen? I'm sure I'll be able to create something, but I am going to try to make a basket as well. So if I go down a couple of hook sizes, or to at least a 6, because this is a 7, maybe even a 5, 5.5, because I want to be able to, you know, pull the yarn through. I don't want it to be too tight. I think it would make an awesome basket as well with just one strand. So let's see how we go. Other than that, highly recommended at this stage. I'd love to know, as I said, what projects you've made with it, because I need to be inspired. I can't just be making beanies, guys, even though I love making them, but they are my go-to, especially when I'm experimenting. So down in the comments, share, and if you have any photos of your makes, make sure and please send them to my email address, and I would love to share them with everybody. So I'm not sure if you can hear the thunder, guys. The weather has really changed here in Sydney, Australia on the 27th of December. We're fast approaching the new year, aren't we? So I hope you're all doing well. Take care, and I shall see you all again very, very soon. Bye bye, everybody.